Are we having fun yet here? Hour number 2 right here on Pro Football Today. On a Saturday on the SportsGrid Network. Donnie Rightside along with Joe Lisi. A lot of information to get to. Great games today. 2 more tomorrow. And we're also going to talk about some of these coaching hires in just a few moments, Joe. But again, looking at these numbers today. Buffalo and Denver, game number 1. That starts at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. A slight favorite to the Denver Broncos at -1.5 and a total of 45.5. And then San Francisco and Seattle. That's the nightcap tonight. 7s across the board. That could change depending on who's coming out, at least for warm-ups and how they look with Sam Darnold here, and a total of 44.5, Joe. Doubleheader today. I'm ready.
Oh, I am too. I mean, both games should live up to the hype in some capacity. We'll see how the second game lives up, and if Darnold, in fact, is under center in quarter number 1. But again, when you look at the game, the first game at 4:30, it's a rematch of last year, but again, Denver's more experienced. They now have the second year with Bo Nix. This offense has an identity, and again, can Josh Allen erase all the critics now? Because there is no Pat Mahomes, there is no Lamar Jackson in his way. Potentially, he is the most experienced quarterback in the AFC now to lead his team to a championship, but now he's got to live up to the expectations. We're basically, I want to say, a journeyman staff.
Let me ask you a question on Sam Darnold real quick before we move on. We understand that, he probably got a raw deal being in, let's just say, I don't know, Carolina and or the New York Jets. Didn't have
Dick
a great
Mayfield was there, too.
Yeah, didn't have a great situation around him. He finds his home in Minnesota, but they drafted a quarterback they thought would be their franchise guy. He had a great, regular season. But in the last game of the regular season, with all the marbles there to get the number 1 seed, he faltered barely, or played very poorly, I should say. Then went on the road, and it wasn't even a road game, Joe. If you remember, it was like a neutral site game because of the wildfires in Los Angeles, where he was terrible in the playoff game against the Rams. So now he's on Seattle. They have the 1 seed, Joe. And I don't want to hear any excuse that we have maybe it's his oblique. Talk to me about if Darnold plays in this game, doesn't play well, and they get beat. How do you move forward with it?
Yeah, it's really tough because they, again, think about what happened. They lost Kirk Cousins in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And Darnold was supposed to be that bridge guy, and he threw for 36 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
He led them to basically almost a number 1 seed when he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he goes to Seattle. He gets all the money. Think about his touchdown total, Donnie. I think at the start of the year, it was like 24.5. I mean, he's erased that in the regular season again by another strong regular season performance. But again, when you're paying $30 and $40 million for a starting quarterback, and you're now the number 1 seed, you got to play like it. We talk about Brock Purdy not being able to live up to the $60 million price tag because he didn't win a Super Bowl. Well, now you got a quarterback that can't even win a playoff game, right? And now on top of it, he's injured and he didn't even play football. I mean, think about the guys on defense. Like they're all geared up. We just beat this team 2 weeks ago. Our quarterback is now at home. Quarterback is hurt. We don't even know if he's going to be under center. That now they're going to be like, oh man, we got to take this game over again. That's a huge letdown for the locker room of the Seattle Seahawks.
And again, it's not a 7th seed. You could have one of the easiest paths to the Super Bowl we've ever seen. The 49ers should not be at this point now. They are injured. You should roll them. Next week, you could get the Bears at home. Yeah. You should beat them up.
Yeah, but think about this, too. It's what I just said. They haven't beaten San Francisco at home in 4 years. And now your quarterback is not potentially going to be under center? I mean, we never talk history. Coaches will say, oh, we never talk history. Yeah. I guarantee you there are players that realize they haven't beaten San Francisco at home in basically 4 years. Yeah. And again, you have CMC and you have this team that are the cardiac kids. You want to talk about Chicago. They pulled it out of nowhere against the defending Super Bowl champs. Not a good look. All the pressure now is on Seattle, whoever starts to dominate this football game.
A lot to find out before that game starts a little bit later tonight in the Pacific Northwest. In the meantime, Joe, we do have some history, which includes the Pittsburgh Steelers moving on from their head coach. Or apparently, Mike Tomlin moving on from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Probably going to find himself a nice little home in the broadcast booth before he probably looks for another job at this point. The favorite in the clubhouse right now on the Predictive Markets Show is Chris Shula, defensive coordinator of the Los Angeles Rams, trading at a 44% chance chance to become the next head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, followed closely by Brian Flores and Nathan Scheelhaus. Here's the interesting part, Joe, because I don't want to focus on Shula. He's the leader right now, young coordinator in his 30s. Maybe that makes some sense here. But Brian Flores is interesting to me. Brian Flores would probably be a very good coordinator / head coach if you already had your quarterback figured out with a strong mindset for the future. Why do I bring that up? If Aaron Rodgers decided he wanted to come back, he understands where Flores is coming from. There's going to be a lot of mutual respect. The one thing we knew about Brian Flores in Miami, he didn't want Tua Tagovailoa. And he basically said, I might as well just sabotage you. I don't want you, and I don't care if you're on my football team. How do you make him the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers when you are going to be looking young quarterback, Joe?
Well, I mean...
Or are they going Kirk Cousins?
No. He did play well, better than he did last year. But if you're Brian Flores, you know that you bring that physicality and intensity on a defensive side of the football. Yeah. And again, we talk about quarterbacks. Roethlisberger won, 2 Super Bowls? Mm-hmm. You know, a blue-collar type of quarterback. He wasn't, obviously, Tom Brady and Joe Montana and some of the greats when you think about that. But he fit the Pittsburgh mold. But the biggest thing for Pittsburgh is the defensive side of the football. They have guys, Watt, they have Jalen Ramsey, they have, obviously, Cam Hayward, but they're old. Yeah. So if you look at what he was able to do in Minnesota and you say, okay, we have a foundation. We don't have elite talent anymore. DK Metcalf is good, but he's certainly not like some of the other pure number ones. We have maybe a complete rebuild in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Why not do it on the defensive side of the ball? That is the quickest way to be more competitive and maybe advance.
How about Aaron Glenn, though, Joe? You hire Aaron Glenn for the Jets? Up in the air, up in the smoke.
And I'll give credit where credit's due. Kevin always said, hey, Detroit's defense wasn't dominant under Aaron Glenn. It was the offense with Ben Johnson, and he was right. Yeah.
Hey, maybe it is there. By the way, Joe, the Atlanta coaching job is open. Raheem Morris was fired. Second round of interviews coming through now. I'm looking at the predictive markets. We are now up to 87% for Kevin Stefanski, which just a few short days ago, Joe, January 16th, he was at 20%.
Yeah. Well, I think if you're Kevin, I think it's a fit for both people, right? Think about the 2 coaches that they had prior to Stefanski. Arthur Smith, who was absolutely gutless, and Raheem Morris, that really, to be honest, was a better coordinator than he was a head coach. Just wasn't the mind that you wanted to elevate this team to the next level. And what do you have in Atlanta? You have young talent. You have a young quarterback in Michael Penix, 2 potentially big play wide receivers in Drake London and Kyle Pitts. You have, obviously, one of the best running backs in Bijan Robinson, a backup in Tyler Algier. I mean, if you're Kevin Stefanski, you're like, this is like heaven for me. I had no quarterback in Cleveland. I had Deshaun Watson. I had to utilize journeyman Joe Flacco. Jerry Jeudy and the wide receivers couldn't step up. I had more blocking tight ends than I had, obviously, hybrid type of tight ends. This is an offense that potentially could cook, and maybe they could get to 11 wins. I think it's a perfect fit. Again, I don't know if Stefanski's an elite head coach, but he certainly is head and shoulders above Arthur Smith and Raheem Morris.
Correct, and I agree with that because Arthur Smith, Raheem Morris, sort of a lay back in the cut. Arthur Smith, let's run the football more. You need to take your quarterback position to the next level. Maybe Stefanski's able to do that. I do agree, and he's a heavy favorite now to take that Atlanta job. I just want to flip over one more, Joe. The Miami Dolphins. Hafley did not have a good end of the season here, but the Miami Dolphins hired Green Bay's player personnel head guy. Now he's the general manager. You know, Jeff Hafley is trading at 73% to be the next head coach. He's way up now, Joe.
Donnie, I can't take it. Jeff Hafley couldn't coach Boston College when he was there. And I understand that's college, but again, what's going to translate to the NFL? You know, that defense got abused by Baltimore and Derrick Henry for 128 yards on the ground when they were basically handcuffed with Snoop Huntley. His defense couldn't stop Street Ball Williams. Go to the fire hydrant and hang a left. That's what they were doing there in Chicago, and he couldn't stop them. And you want this guy as your head coach in Miami?
Hafley on the way down there. Other guys trading around 7%, Robert Saleh and also Chris Shula there. Shula in Miami would make more sense than Jeff Hafley.
Yeah, give me that. I'll take that at least. At least he cares.
The Green Bay connection down in Miami. Now we'll see if that plays out. More hot topics next right here on Pro Football Today.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
New York Giants. They fired their head coach, Brian Daboll. Now, they did that during the season. Harbaugh is the favorite by a wide margin. Looking at Kalshi right now, Joe, 56% chance. 56 that he's the coach. The guy behind him is Kevin Stefanski at 25%. Is this look like it's just a Harbaugh spot? And if not, why is Harbaugh waiting until Monday? Does he want to see if something else opens up? But it looks like he's the heavy favorite and probably will get the job.
Pro Football Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Aaron Rodgers' season and maybe career comes to an end. But I want to start by saying this. We always go to the losing team, it feels like, first sometimes. And I know we're going to spend a lot of time on Pittsburgh. But I think Houston's live, right, man? Like, I mean, if they're going to play that kind of defense next week, they're going to beat New England too.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kwan Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Hot topics, they never stop. It's Pro Football Today. We keep going. Even though we don't have a game till late afternoon and another night game, we got to get you the important information that you need to know to make you more informed handicapper and also watching the game around the water cooler, Joe. It's Donnie Rightside and it's Joe Lisi here talking about that Baltimore Ravens head coaching spot. After close to 20 years, they're moving on from John Harbaugh. And interesting at that press conference here where they were talking to the owner, Steve Bisciotti, like, well, if he would have won that football game, would he still be your head coach? And he said, yes, for one more week. Seems like they already had their mind up no matter what happened this year. Harbaugh was going to get fired from the Baltimore Ravens, which then leaves a head coaching job open. For me, it's Lamar Jackson. I need to get an offensive guy in there to help Lamar Jackson. The defense should be able to take care of itself. But, Joe, I see on the predictive markets right now, Jesse Minter trading at 45% as the favorite to get the head coaching job there, right behind Brian Flores, who's way back at 12%.
Yeah, so they went through the Harbaugh coaching tree, not John, but Jim, right? Yep. The defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers. But again, you know, Jesse,
why do they like him so much?
I don't know. I mean, he's, again, a very good defensive coordinator. I'm not going to take away from that. But again, when you think about this team and you think about the challenges that they have had and not really, I want to say, rallying when you've had your window of opportunity with potentially one of the most explosive and athletic quarterbacks in the game in Lamar Jackson and potentially one of the best running backs over the last 20 years in Derrick Henry, I don't know, how do you channel that? Yeah. I just don't see how this team or this organization elevates from where they are right now, right, as basically an 8-win football team, to where all of a sudden they're a 14-win football team because now you have Minter as your new head coach. Is that team all of a sudden going to bounce back and be the 2000 defense with Ray Lewis? No. They still have challenges in getting a number one wide receiver outside of Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is good. He's not elite. And again, what's going to be the mentality of this offense? Is it going to be run it 80 times a game and hope your defense steps up like D'Amico Ryans?
I certainly would have went offense here. And again, Jesse Minter on the 11th of the month, Joe, roughly 6 days ago, was trading at 6% now. So obviously up to 45% and gaining a lot of steam. We'll see if Flores does seem like it's a pretty good mix. But for me, the third person in line is Robert Saleh, another defensive guy. I need offense for Lamar Jackson. I want to take the game to the next level. Or I guess they're just saying, you know, hey, Lamar, street ball, hand the football off. I'll handle the defense, and we'll see if we can make that work in the playoffs, which it hasn't worked yet in the playoffs for Lamar Jackson at this point. So it is an interesting one. Joe, if we flip it over to Las Vegas, Obviously, the job's up in the air.
Who do you get there?
Yeah, before we get to the coaches themselves, like how attractive is a spot? Because you have a lot of salary cap. You're going to have the number 1 overall pick, but you got Tommy Boy as your owner, and Tommy Boy is your owner, right?
Yeah, he's got a good haircut, though.
Yeah.
His girlfriend didn't know he was a billionaire, right?
Exactly. Love the smile. Love the smile.
When you look at Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. You know who the favorite, by the way, is for Las Vegas?
McDaniel?
And it's absolutely shot up here. If I'm seeing this correctly at this point, no. Ivero, Joe, the defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, is up 63% today alone, Joe.
So let me ask you a question.
That's incredible.
It is. But let me ask you a question. Why not, if we're looking defensive coordinators, what about the coordinator for Jacksonville that didn't have a team that rushed for over 75 yards on them? I'm just saying, was Carolina's defense all that great this year? No. I didn't see the consistency for Carolina. Tampa Bay abused them with the game on the line, and they had a backdoor the playoffs. So, again, why is there a correlation between him and Brady or him and Mark Davis in any capacity?
Look, and also at the same time, Joe, and maybe it's just my philosophy, I'm going to draft Fernando Mendoza to the Vegas Raiders. The point that I'm going to give him a defensive coordinator. Remember how great it worked for Eberflus?
Yeah.
Hey, we got the number 1 overall hot pick here. He's going to dominate. Let's give him Eberflus. And they go, and Caleb goes, nobody even knew how to watch film with me.
Yeah, and Eberflus is now sitting at home for the holidays because he can't coach defense anymore, elevating the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But, it's unfortunate, but we talk about this with NFL organizations and owners. They love to regurgitate talent. Why is even Arthur Smith even in the conversation for a head coaching job when he couldn't coach Atlanta and those young guns? You're going to get him back in Tennessee?
Don't you want to fire your fan base up? Hey, Arthur Smith's in for an interview. They want to burn the place down.
Well, the only thing I could think of for Las Vegas with the D.C. of Carolina is they're still paying Gruden, supposedly. They're still paying Carroll. They're still paying McDaniels.
Yeah.
So, how many more coaches are you going to pay that are now not even coaching on the sideline? So do you get, this young gun, hopefully he could elevate this team to a level where you're more competitive and then you could get that marquee head coach you just don't want to pay?
You know what it feels like, Joe?
Is it like a Canales hire? Like remember when Canales got the job in Carolina? It was Canales?
No, but you know what it feels like even more? Do you remember David Culley got hired for the Houston? They told him, this is your make-a-wish dream to be a head coach.
He didn't deserve to be fired, though.
No, but you're getting 1 year, and you will be fired immediately. Why would you go to Ivero? What? You need to groom that quarterback for success. Why not get an offensive play call?
But then who are you holding out for? If you get Fernando Mendoza, and this guy is one and done.
Davis Webb. These names,
Davis Webb.
It's Ivero, Flores, and Kubiak.
Well, then why not David Blau is the hot commodity because all of a sudden quarterbacks that can't cut it in the NFL.
Mike McDaniel feels like Joe would be a good spot in Vegas. Why not?
Well, he's interviewing on Monday. I mean, I will say this: if you're asking me between Ivero and McDaniel, then, by default, it's McDaniel. But by no stretch do I believe McDaniel is an elite head coach. I think he's a potentially good offensive mind. I would much rather see him or go to the Eagles as an OC in that type of situation. I just think that there's coaches that are better coordinators than they are locker room guys to elevate potentially, 53 guys during a regular season. But it's just, again, Mark Davis brought in Tom Brady to bring back the winning culture.
Yeah.
You now have the allure of the best city potentially in the nation in Las Vegas. You have money, but now you got to get the right head coach.
Yeah.
I'm
going young offensive
You can't get Kubiak in there?
Look, he's third in line right now. How about this Cleveland, Joe? Jim Schwartz on a lightning bolt now, up to 40%, up 25%. Schwartz, put him in there.
Another defensive guy?
Love it.
Is it second coming of Dan Quinn?
Defense.
So that's it now. No, teams don't pass anymore.
No.
Copycat league. Yep. We want defense.
Man, Schwartz has a Super Bowl ring from the Philadelphia Eagles, Joe. Come on now.
Any Eagles people.
We'll be right back with the Doc next.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
New York Giants. They fired their head coach, Brian Dable. Now, they did that during the season. Harbaugh is the favorite by a wide margin. Looking at Kalshi right now, Joe, 56% chance. 56 that he's the coach. The guy behind him is Kevin Stefanski at 25%. Is this look like it's just a Harbaugh spot? And if not, why is Harbaugh waiting until Monday? Does he want to see if something else opens up? But it looks like he's the heavy favorite and probably will get the job.
Pro Football Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Aaron Rodgers' season and maybe career comes to an end. But I want to start by saying this. We always go to the losing team, it feels like, first sometimes. And I know we're going to spend a lot of time on Pittsburgh. But I think Houston's live, right, man? Like, I mean, if they're going to play that kind of defense next week, they're going to beat New England too.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Lisi broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today, right back here on set. It's Donnie Rightside and it's Joe Lisi. 2 games today and a lot of intriguing information that we got to get out there to the people. So we're going to welcome in the doc, Dr. David Chow, with us today. Doc, we need your help on a lot of spots here today. You ready?
I am ready. What a great weekend of football upcoming.
Sports Injury Central, Doc, we lean on you a lot, and today we're really going to lean on you. And why do I say that? I need help, Doc. Thursday, I get a text that says, Sam Darnold, he's injured now. It's an oblique injury. They're saying he hasn't thrown in 2 days, Doc. Lead us in the right direction. The expectations from you for Sam Darnold today is what?
On a scale of 1 to 10, my worry is a 2.
Ooh.
Why is it a 2?
All right.
Because it's a playoff game. Right? You got to be sure, what have you. But if there was the old probable designation, he wouldn't be listed as questionable and no one would worry about it. It doesn't exist anymore, probable, so they have to list him as questionable. So that starts the worry. What also makes it more worry is now Schefter's report that he hasn't thrown in 2 days. But let me explain that to you. When you get a left oblique injury, your torso as you throw, it's the pull side. It is more important. So you don't want to aggravate it. Look, I have a bad shoulder, and sometimes I play catch with my 13-year-old son, and I just use my arm and elbow, and I can still throw. They don't want him to throw it all out of precaution, not because he couldn't. They're just making sure he's going to be okay. This is not going to be a game-time decision. This is a game-time confirmation that Sam Darnold will be okay. Let's all hope so. Yes, it's something to watch because he's a quarterback and it's the playoffs. But realistically, how badly can you hurt your oblique in pat and go against air for something you've done 5,000 times this season, right? He just felt a little something, and this is all, I believe, abundance of caution. I hope I'm right.
Well, Doc, to your point, is this something that they'll be monitoring throughout the game? Like, will they ask him how he's feeling? And you said, obviously, the opposite side is more important as if it was on his throwing side. But is this something that they'll take over precaution? And is there anything they could do medical-wise, like a shot? Or will they see how this plays out throughout the first half to monitor the situation?
There's no question that it is something that you could consider injecting. I'm not sure you're going to need to do that. They, of course, will monitor it. But my practice in my 17 years was to monitor it, but never bug the athlete. You okay? You okay? After every drive kind of thing. More watching him, etc. And, the funny thing is, the question is his power downfield, the accuracy, etc. But, the way the injuries line up for this game with all the linebackers and D-line issues, etc., I mean, this should be a Montgomery and Charbonnet game anyways. So we'll see how it plays out. But you are right. They will monitor it throughout, just like they do for every quarterback in every position.
Certainly, Doc, the big issue as well, the quarterback position for Sam Darnold. But I know you track a lot of other injuries outside the quarterback, and it just seems like a mash unit for the San Francisco 49ers. What are we looking at specifically from the defensive perspective here today for those 49ers?
Well, really, it's amazing what Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh has done. And now, of course, offensively, we know George Kittle, but their defensive line has been ravaged all season. Fred Warner is not back. They're on linebacker 3 in some spots. I mean, they've been doing it with mirrors. Maybe they can continue, but it's a tough ask. San Francisco is by far the most injured team left in the playoffs.
Doc, I just want to follow up on that. Assuming they pick up this victory today, will Fred Warner be available at some point for a Super Bowl run? Could he play in the Super Bowl if they get there?
I believe Fred Warner has made an amazing recovery to the point it's on the radar screen that he can return, which is incredible. But there is no way, shape, or form Fred Warner will be the sideline-to-sideline linebacker that he was before the injury. I've seen him in practice and other things. He's a great athlete. He can move around. But that's not Fred Warner pre-injury. The best news for the 49ers is you really don't have to worry about Fred Warner coming into next season. And when he broke that ankle, there was some worry about that. But I see him, if they can get further along, coming back. But I don't know that he's going to be a difference maker.
Doc, talking about a difference maker is just being healthy. The Denver Broncos seem to be much healthier than the Buffalo Bills in that first game today at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Buffalo real banged up on defense, particularly also in that secondary.
Secondary, down several safeties is key. Terrell Bernard with the calf is going to maybe try and play, but that calf injuries are tricky. The good news is for Buffalo, Ed Oliver is going to try and play off recent knee scope and with the biceps. That, I guess, is the good news. And don't forget, Dalton Kincaid still has the PCL and isn't 100%, but is playing. Denver is the healthier side. Can Josh Allen Superman his way into the conference championships?
Sports Injury Central here. That's Dr. David Chow. Thanks for all the help today. Make sure you check those guys out. We'll be right back after this break.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
New York Giants. They fired their head coach, Brian Daboll. Now, they did that during the season. Harbaugh is the favorite by a wide margin. Looking at Kalshi right now, Joe, 56% chance. 56 that he's the coach. The guy behind him is Kevin Stefanski at 25%. Is this look like it's just a Harbaugh spot? And if not, why is Harbaugh waiting until Monday? Does he want to see if something else opens up? But it looks like he's the heavy favorite and probably will get the job.
Pro Football Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Aaron Rodgers' season and maybe career comes to an end. But I want to start by saying this. We always go to the losing team, it feels like, first sometimes. And I know we're going to spend a lot of time on Pittsburgh. But I think Houston's live, right, man? Like, I mean, if they're going to play that kind of defense next week, they're going to beat New England too.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Kwan Lacey broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today, live from the desk, Donnie Rightside, along with Joe Lisi. It's what we do. We'll get you ready for game time today, which isn't going to happen until a little bit later. The 4 o'clock hour and the 8 o'clock hour are the two games today, but just some good information from the doc there. Doesn't seem to be too concerned, Joe, about Sam Darnold. So for prop bets and a total to the over,
that's why you're still seeing, what, 219.5s in the market? Yeah. You're not seeing 6.5s creep in from the injury perspective. But, again, it's still something to monitor because you don't know, to your point, hasn't thrown a football in 2 days.
Yeah.
You know, with the pressure of this game and the magnitude, I would take a wait-and-see approach. I wouldn't bet Darnold numbers pregame. I would much rather, especially if he comes out and, let's say, has a drive where he doesn't complete a pass. Donnie, you might get 200.
And look, it's something to monitor. You might be able to get a nice price point out depending on what you like. And also, you can wait through the first quarter and just see if he's throwing or how good he looks. But I tell you this, Joe. Everybody's going to be looking at a pregame. You're going to get 1,000 reports from beat writers on site here that are looking at Sam Darnold throwing the football. Or is it one of those, Joe? Do you remember when the Pittsburgh Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger had that shoulder injury?
Yeah.
He didn't throw all week or didn't even come out for pregame warm-ups against the Denver Broncos. First pass, Joe launched 165 yards down the field.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a possibility, especially when we don't know. It's not like we saw him get hurt or injured. It's just a report that's coming out, and you're at the mercy of team reporters and the team, and obviously Darnold, he's not going to say, oh, yeah, you know, I can't throw it more than 10 yards in this matchup. So that's why I do say, even if he is 100% healthy, or to Doc's point, it's a 2 out of 10. Yeah. If he comes out, and let's just say he overcompensates, he throws 2 incompletions, that number's after the first drive. You might get. You might have to draw the graph.
You might have to draw a graph on where those yards would go.
I got my handy dandy notebook here. I mean, straight down like a dart. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I'm just saying there's more value to be picked up on Sam Darnold, I believe, in game as opposed to pregame. Now, if he comes out and throws a touchdown on the first drive, all bets are off. But that's. I mean, what are the odds considering there's a lot of pressure on him?
There is, and we'll see how it plays out, Joe. But I want to have some fun with you now. Yeah. Like, we like some of these longer shot bets here. Divisional round bets, we'll call this, Joe. So we're going to start with the quarterbacks. Most passing yards, just these 2 games today and these 2 games tomorrow. Not the NFC Championship or how it's going to play into the Super Bowl. Just this weekend's games. Most passing yards leader. Matthew Stafford is the favorite at a plus 230 price. Darnold, plus 550. Purdy, plus 550, followed by Caleb Williams, C.J. Stroud, Drake May, Bo Nix, and Josh Allen. If I give you one of those quarterbacks to back with the most passing yards for this weekend's games, who is it?
It's just one?
Just one. You don't get 2. We don't get 2. Only one winner.
You know I like the big prices.
You do.
I'm worried about that game tomorrow night because of the weather.
Okay.
I'm just right. It's going to be
price
like
point not good enough.
It's a 6:30 kick.
Yeah.
Right, 5:30
Rock football
Chicago.
Out there.
Donnie, by 8 o'clock, that ball is going to be like concrete.
It is.
I'm just saying, and I know they play in cold weather. I get that, Chicago, but I'll take Bo Nix.
Oh, 8-1. Good price point right there at this point.
I think Bo Nix, and I know statistically Buffalo has a very good secondary.
Yeah.
But I think they could be had.
I do. I like the Bo Nix at 8-1. I do think it makes some sense. Is there one guy, now flip it over, that you absolutely don't want to take? Because to me, I love Drake May. I'm not taking Drake May to lead the weekend in passing against the Houston Texans. I can't do that. No way I'm taking him.
Stroud.
So you're going the same game. We don't think Stroud can perform?
Here's the thing. I think Stroud not only has the limited wide receivers, he's got a head coach that completely wants to handcuff him. D'Amico Ryans does not want to score 30 points like he did against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That 30 points was an aberration because of how pathetic the Pittsburgh offense was with Arthur Smith and those lack of big play wideouts. New England's much more disciplined than Pittsburgh was, but even on a perfect day with Nico Collins in that lineup, and he's not going to play, D'Amico Ryans wants to win that game 17-13. He'd be much happier having C.J. Stroud throw it 10 times than 30 times.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and that is why I'm not taking away from D'Amico Ryans being a great head coach. He's a very good head coach. He's not an elite head coach. He's a defensive guy. I know defense travels. But that mindset of not having the killer instinct when you're up 14-0 like you've had multiple times this year, allowing teams back in games because you pull back the reins. How many times did we see on the first drive Nico Collins score a touchdown, 56 yards receiving? They never go back to him the rest of the game. And that's all on D'Amico Ryans. So the one player I don't want is C.J. Stroud.
Rushing props, Joe, this weekend's games. Of course, the leader is going to be James Cook, plus 260. He's well ahead as the favorite here. But now you have R.J. Harvey, Kyron Williams, Kenneth Walker III, DeAndre Swift, and so forward down the market we go. Me, Joe, give me Kyron Williams plus 850 price. Give me a plus 850 in that colder weather temperatures. The Bears defense stinks. He should be able to get me 80 plus, possibly, to put me in that lead. Who is it for you in this one, Joe?
I'm going to stick to the same game, Donnie, because I'm on the other side.
You are.
I think it's DeAndre Swift.
Wow.
I think
plus
Swift.
950.
I like this.
No
team.
Manungai?
No, I mean Manungai.
He's not even on that list.
Yeah, he's not going to get as many touches. I think Swift could break out with a 100-yard performance.
Let's go to receiving yards, Joe. Speed this bad boy up. Puka Nacua plus 230. No surprise there. But again, Joe, maybe some weather concerns for you. Jackson Smith and Jigba plus 260. That could be a great bet. We don't know what his quarterback's going to be able to do. Loveland 13-1. Adams 14-1. Sutton 15-1. A running back, Christian McCaffrey 17-1. And then we go down the list, Joe. I'm going to throw a flyer out there for you. Jaden Higgins 27-1.
All right, not bad.
No Nico. Somebody's got to catch balls.
How many catches? 60?
6 catches, $140.
No, not happening. Christian Kirk ain't going to duplicate what he did either. No way.
Who you going with? Most receiving yards.
On that list?
Big guys down the list. Devontae Adams.
I think Sutton on that list. But
yeah,
what about
15-1? Nice
what about
price.
Juwan Jennings?
No Juwan Jennings. He's off the board, which probably means like 50 or 60-1. You love that guy, but I think
he's the number one on that team.
Yeah, no Stephon Diggs, 25-1, breaking up that secondary, Joe.
No, because again, 25-1.
Yeah, huge number.
What about Troy Franklin?
Luther Burden, 35-1. Troy Franklin's not even on there. He's probably 50-1 plus.
Really?
Yeah. Look at this price point, Joe.
Wow,
man.
On the Buffalo side, who would you take?
I'd probably go Shakir.
What do you have? 12 for 82 last week.
25-1 to lead the weekend. It's not
they
bad
had
price.
Josh Allen at the bottom of the barrel on that list.
Yeah. Highest scoring game, Joe, divisional round. Favorite, Rams-Bears, plus 178. Second spot, Bills-Broncos, 260. Followed by the 49ers-Seahawks, also 260. Nobody expecting any scoring, Joe. Texans-Patriots, plus 430.
Yeah, I like the Niners-Seahawks. That's my best bet
You're
for the
just
weekend.
locked in on that game, huh? That's all you want to see is this game.
It. Bing, bing, pinball.
Tonight, out on the left coast, man. Ricky Pearsall goes deep for you tonight, adds on to the equation.
I hope the Niners don't wear white pants. It better be the old school.
Don't want to mess yourself in the white pants? You know what I mean?
Nah. I want the gold pants. Give me the white jersey with the gold pant.
Yeah, it might be determined. I need a good Seattle uniform today as it pans out. Lowest scoring game, Joe. Plus 162.
Easy.
Patriots, Texans. How does that get? That's got to. That's plus money. That seems like a really good bet.
I'll
it's a favorite, and I love it.
How about lowest scoring game? I'll tell you what. Rams-Bears.
So that's a 4-1 price, Joe. I don't think it has a chance to be lower scoring.
The
lowest of the weekend, though?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look, I think people are discounting how cold it's going to be, and we're just looking at Stafford, Luka, Blake Corum, Devontae Adams. They all played in, Kyron Williams all played in cold weather environment. That's all well and good, but it's a divisional game with sub-freezing temperatures. And if this game is, let's say, close in the second half, I don't think we're going to get fireworks. I think we're going to get close to the vest.
Yeah.
Let's play it out, and let's see who's winning. I see this game like 20-17, whoever wins it.
I got a market for you, Joe. Highest scoring team of the weekend. The Seahawks are plus 270. I don't know if I want to take them. I'm going to tell you right now, though, You scroll down just a little bit here. The Denver Broncos 6-1.
Like
Joe,
that.
6-1.
I think that look, it wouldn't shock me if the first game goes over.
Come on.
But I do like Denver to dominate that game.
Oh, domination here on the football field. Domination on the set. It's what we do at the SportsGrid Network. It's Pro Football Today, getting you ready for Saturday's Divisional Round action here. It's Donnie Rightside. It's Joe Lisi. A few more segments to go. Best bets coming up on the horizon. And into the afternoon you go. A smarter individual, Joe.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
New York Giants. They fired their head coach, Brian Daboll. Now, they did that during the season. Harbaugh is the favorite by a wide margin. Looking at Kalshi right now, Joe, 56% chance. 56 that he's the coach. The guy behind him is Kevin Stefanski at 25%. Is this look like it's just a Harbaugh spot? And if not, why is Harbaugh waiting until Monday? Does he want to see if something else opens up? But it looks like he's the heavy favorite and probably will get the job.
Pro Football Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Aaron Rodgers' season and maybe career comes to an end. But I want to start by saying this. We always go to the losing team, it feels like, first sometimes. And I know we're going to spend a lot of time on Pittsburgh. But I think Houston's live, right, man? Like, I mean, if they're going to play that kind of defense next week, they're going to beat New England too.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Lisi broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Yeah, did you miss us there in that commercial break, Joe? They didn't miss us because they knew we'd be right back for the people here. It's Donnie Rightside. It's Joe Lisi here. The whip around. Only 2 games. Usually the whip around, Joe, we get through about 10, 12 games here on the set.
We have 2.
Only 2 today to get through.
We could do tomorrow if you want.
You want to? Like, why? You don't even need a show. I already got you covered for tomorrow. You know what I mean? You do a 5-minute show. Let that baby
Let me
run.
ask you this. Which day is better games, today or tomorrow? See, everybody's concentrating on the Rams-Bears game. Right, and I feel like Houston and New England is a little bit under the radar. I actually think.
Tell you, it might be today.
It is today.
It might be today because
today is the better day.
Buffalo-Denver is just intriguing in itself. It's Josh Allen. Everybody wants to watch the Buffalo Bills. Everybody wants to watch Josh Allen. How does that young upstart number 1 seed, and can Buffalo win and get to the AFC Championship game? And then the second game is a division rivalry. Now you have more intrigue saying, can San Francisco, the little engine that could, they're injured. Can they beat Darnold? He's injured at this point now.
Is Darnold even 100% healthy? How many people you think tune in at 8 o'clock to see if he's actually under center?
It's like, hey, weather's in the forecast. I thought it was supposed to snow. Beautiful in the stadium. Like, you're going to get one of those actions here. So, Joe, if we look at both of these games, right, and just look at the spreads where we have them, we're going to get to each individual game in a second, but I want to ask you this question. 1.5-point spread at Denver. They're the favorite. That's a 4:30 game. 7 is the number for Seattle tonight. That's an 8 o'clock game. Do either one of these games change from 1.5 or off the 7 number by the time we get to game time?
I think the Denver game, from public perception, people loving Josh. You know, people love to bet the quarterbacks.
You think they could? Because that means that they're probably going to be the favorite. We saw a big line movement in this week already for the 1.5.
Donnie, I don't know if they'd be the favorite, but I wouldn't be shocked if, like, FanDuel or DraftKings or a half, almost to pick them. In that aspect, it's Josh. I have to have the quarterback advantage. I want Josh. But again, when you look at it and you look at that chart, which showed Bo Nix had much better odds to throw for more passing yards, that's suggesting that Josh Allen's going to be completely shut down, which then says, okay, we're looking at an under and more James Cook today.
That's it. Look, it's fascinating games either way because, again, the Buffalo Bills, the reason that you want the 1 seed, and also the NFL does the 1 seed a favor. They didn't put these games on a Sunday to give the other team an extra day to prepare. You already had your week by week, and they're putting both of the ones on a Saturday, which means a major advantage. The Buffalo Bills, we talked to Doc, banged up in the secondary here. Josh Allen even was banged up this week, not with injury, but just taking a beating in such a physical game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I like Bo Nix in this game, and I do like the Denver Broncos. Ticket count, heavy count on the Buffalo Bills here, so the Denver Broncos as the favorite, reverse line movement. I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos in this game, Joe. I think they're the better team. I'll lay the -1.5.
No, I'm with you. I do feel Denver being at home, 8-1 overall. We talk about the margin of victory. 10-plus points per game. I do believe in their offensive identity. I do believe in the coaching advantage, Peyton over Sean McDermott. And, again, I know that Bo Nix lost last year, but I do believe he stepped up in this team. And I feel like out of all the young quarterbacks, he's not given enough credit.
Yeah.
He does a lot more than,
He's not a game manager. He throws 40 times a game.
And he can run it, too. And I think that's a misleading, fact in this matchup that he could potentially put pressure on Buffalo's perimeter, which could open up everything for R.J. Harvey in the rushing attack later. So I'm going to roll with Bo Nix. I do feel they have a significant home field advantage, and I'm just not sold on the offensive weapons for Buffalo outside of James Cook.
Like, Buffalo's been more talented in the previous years but hasn't gotten it done. But also understand this. There's no excuses when you have a quarterback making that much money how good Josh Allen is. But I do feel it's a bit unfair. It's like, well, Mahomes and Lamar aren't here. He better win it this year. Like, his team isn't as good as it was in the past, and they're on the road against the 1 seed. If they lose today, I'm not doing a referendum on Josh Allen saying, like, oh, look at that, he can't get it done. Like Josh Allen isn't playing Bo Nix today. He's playing one of the best defenses and a team that's rested and on the road today, and he's an underdog. They're not 14.5-point favorites. Like, whoa, why couldn't he get it done?
No, here's the other factor. They took defensive moves to rebuild that defense after they right? So that was the mindset going in this year that, hey, we took some cuts with veteran players to get younger on defense. This defense is still atrocious. Yeah. And I feel like the offense got worse, right? Keon Coleman has not been the answer when they drafted him.
Bad pick.
I mean, he's not even anywhere near a number 2 at this point. He can't even stay on the field to get activated week to week. Yeah. Right? I mean, Kincaid has been good. He hasn't really lived up to all the expectations. Dawson Knox is old. Shakir is, again, just a good wide receiver, not elite. And how many, I just want to say pedestrian wideouts are you going to put around Josh Allen? It's not like he can elevate these guys into Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and some of the better wide receivers. I mean,
yeah, he would love to have a Justin Jefferson out there, but he doesn't. Total in this game, Joe, listed at 45.5. You're not really going to have those weather conditions that would put a damper on that game either way, but the ticket count in Buffalo's favor. Game number 2 tonight, Joe, which it seems like we spent a lot of time just talking about Darnold, but rightfully so. An injury to the quarterback position is a big deal, but apparently the odds makers aren't treating it as such. We had Doc on a little bit earlier with us in this hour, and he said, look, it's a playoff game. He's going to play. Maybe he can get some medication after it makes it a little bit easier, but he's going to go tonight. And of his level, right, 1 out of 10, he said it's a 2. Not too worried about that injury for Darnold.
Yeah, I mean, I trust Doc 100%, but again, how much weighs on Sam Darnold early, right? Yeah. Knowing that he's got this, you got to be saying to yourself, out of all the times, I got to tweak something right before the game. Again, I'm going to take a wait-and-see approach. I still believe we get through this total with or without Sam Darnold. That would be my take. I do like San Fran on the side, but I don't love it, Donnie. Divisional game, I'm always inclined to take the points, especially when you're thinking about a touchdown. And again, as long as McCaffrey's healthy, you got a shot.
Yeah, it's all in Brock Purdy. And again, last week, Joe, one of my favorite wagers in that Philadelphia Eagles game was taking Brock Purdy over his rushing total, which he got. I always look at from a good defensive perspective where you have a good pass rush, which the Eagles do and have a good defense. Quarterback's got to make his own decisions and make those a little bit faster. I do think Brock Purdy does run in this game, and he's going to have to. But again, I think Seattle's the much better football team. But when you look at the quarterback position and you say Brock Purdy, it seems like he's been there, done that, played in bigger games and won bigger games, which he has against Darnold, and he's healthy and they're riding some momentum. I just don't know if they have the horses, Joe, in the barn to say, you know what, let's let these guys out here and run wild. And maybe it does help that you're going to get one of your wide receivers back in Ricky Pearsall, who's still a little bit damaged goods, but that helps in the absence of George Kittle. But I see that 7. I'll tell you one thing. I do think Seattle wins this game. I'm not laying 7 points here, Joe.
No,
I'm not doing it.
I mean, I'm not betting the side as much as I'm betting the total, but I lean to the 49ers. And again, you got to believe that scheme-wise, Shanahan utilizes his quarterback that he does have the advantage over. And from a defensive perspective, Darnold was on their roster a couple of years ago. They know his tendencies, right?
See if those tendencies play out today. But Shanahan, one of the best coaches out there. He's not going to come with the same playbook that scored him 3 points against Seattle last time out. The 12s will be loud at home. It'll be fun to watch. That's an 8 o'clock game tonight. Game number 1 coming up there. The Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. 4:30. So you do have some time to sit back, relax, and soak it all in. One more segment to go. Best bets are on the way.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
New York Giants. They fired their head coach, Brian Daboll. Now, they did that during the season. Harbaugh is the favorite by a wide margin. Looking at Kalshi right now, Joe, 56% chance. 56 that he's the coach. The guy behind him is Kevin Stefanski at 25%. Is this look like it's just a Harbaugh spot? And if not, why is Harbaugh waiting until Monday? Does he want to see if something else opens up? But it looks like he's the heavy favorite and probably will get the job.
Pro Football Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Aaron Rodgers' season and maybe career comes to an end. But I want to start by saying this. We always go to the losing team, it feels like, first sometimes. And I know we're going to spend a lot of time on Pittsburgh. But I think Houston's live, right, man? Like, I mean, if they're going to play that kind of defense next week, they're going to beat New England too.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Awesome offensively, and in reality, they weren't awesome offensively. In the first half, they just had the Lisi broken play. I hate to say this because I do not want to take away credit from everybody who went on the run that they went on. But I think it's fair, maybe you won't, to wonder if that result is different if Lane Kiffin sticks around and everybody else with this Ole Miss.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
All right, final segment today. Time to get down to the business on Pro Football Today. It's Donnie Rightside, and it's Joe Lisi, and away we go, Joe. We're going to go over a little sell me something. We're going to give out some best bets here, Joe. But if I just look at the sides today, I think Denver wins. I'll take the -1.5. And if I have to pick in San Francisco and Seattle, I'll take the 7 points.
We're both on the same side, but I know we're on different sides of the totals.
There's only one right side, though.
Or left side, depending upon.
You are on my left side right now. So there you go.
I am, which typically is the right side. I won the best bet last week. But
I did, though. Like
you didn't. You had the Packers.
But Joe, some outlets up 17 points, they cash you out. I'm not saying that.
So you won. So you're counting that as a winner.
I'm not saying I had my hand over the button, but let's just say I had that here. Yeah, there you go. That's the bell right there. And that means time for some key wagers today, Joe. Sell me something. I'll let you go first today. What do we got? Sell me.
So I got a big one for you. 308 to 1. Sell you something.
308 to 1.
Yeah, and it's not touchdowns.
Wow.
It's every tight end.
Okay.
Barner.
Give me Barner. Tonjes, San Fran.
Right. Evan Ingram. And Dawson Knox.
Okay.
50 yards each. 308 to 1.
Not bad, though.
I mean, we're not.
So it's
the
Knox.
First game, it's Knox.
Knox, to me, Joe, honestly, Knox is the toughest one because he's really the backup option.
I think it's Ingram, but I mean,
do you?
Is that? It's not like it's a playoff game. I mean, we're not talking 100 yards. Yeah. It's 50.
308 to 1. I like the deal there. I think it makes some sense. For me, Joe, do you want me to sell me something? I'm going to keep it simple.
Did I sell you?
You did sell me on that. Because the only thing, again, the question for me is Dawson Knox. You get over the Dawson Knox hump early?
Because it's him and Kincaid. But again.
Evan Ingram, 42 yards, first half. Let's go.
I mean, it's possible. You can't say. I mean, the tight ends. If you're going to take away all the number ones, which if you've watched the first round of the playoffs, none of the number ones have blown through their number. It's been all tertiary, secondary guys. Yeah. Why not the tight ends today?
For me, Joe, I saw the game against the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers last week, and I said, boy, how are you going to make up for that lost offense out of the backfield that usually George Kittle will give you over the middle? How about Kyle Juszczyk? 8-1 price to score a touchdown today, Joe.
All right.
Dump off in the flat, fullback dive on the goal line. 8-1 price for a touchdown for a guy that should see increased touches, particularly in the red zone. Give me Juszczyk 8-1 as a touchdown.
I mean,
today.
definitely. He scored against Chicago at the end of the regular season. When you talk about red zone opportunities, you just think about Shanahan scheming, right, with the end around reverse to McCaffrey. He might be in the cards for a trick play or so where Juszczyk is wide open. So again, he's durable, and Purdy believes in him. He could certainly catch the football out of the backfield, so why not 8-1?
Best bets time. I was robbed last week. The Green Bay Packers, they did win that game. I don't care what the final score said. It was a perfect handicap, and even though it said I lost, I really won the game. That's how I feel. Joe, your best bet today, what is it?
Well, I mean, look, we're against each other, but I'm the total guy on the show. You know that. And again, I won last week. I think this game's going to be a rocket ship. I don't care if Sam Darnold is only 20% healthy. Give me Drew Lock banged up over 44.5. The only way San Francisco can win it, I believe, is a higher scoring game. You have the quarterback advantage, Brock Purdy, over no matter who starts, and that's not to take away from Darnold. But I do believe that game at the end of the regular season forces Kyle Shanahan to open things up. Give me over 44.5.
Look, Bobby Valentino back in the day sung a song that said, slow down. And we're going to slow this game down, Joe.
I think that was
because this
Boys
is
to
an
Men.
under.
Slow it down.
All right, you want to croon a little bit? We can croon on our way out. We don't have to give out any best bets. Oh, come on, new edition, Ralph Tresvant. Come on now.
I think that's what it was. I don't think it was
sensitivity. You need a man with sensitivity, Joe. There you go. Don't get me sidetracked here. Best bet is actually opposite of Joe's. This is fantastic. We don't look at this before we head into here. I have the under 45.5. And by the way, live right now, there's 44s in the marketplace. I got some CLV out here, which leads us to a slower game. If the quarterback is injured, Joe says he likes it higher. That doesn't make any sense to me. I like it lower at this point. But understand this. I don't even know there's a way you could put up these side-by-side bets that we have. If this game ends 25-20, that's a double winner. So theoretically, you can parlay, people, these two wagers and hit the parlay.
Yeah, you can do that. You want to catch a middle right on the dot. 23-22, depending upon who wins. I'll say this. I feel very confident in the over.
Yeah.
I do.
Why, though? It doesn't make any sense.
I do. Well, okay. So even better. I feel
your bets don't make any sense on here. That's what we're trying to say at this point.
Bazooka Joe loves the over. I feel good.
This is one of those games, people. I'm going to text Joe at the half 3-0. How you feel? Like it even more. Big second half at this point. It should be good stuff here. Should be good stuff. By the way, 2 games today, Joe. I know you'll be back on the set tomorrow with Kevin. 2 more games, Houston and New England, Los Angeles and Chicago. I love Divisional Round weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be great tomorrow as well. I think we have the better day today, Donnie. I do. Better set of games. Better
set of games. Maybe some also say the better host as well on a Saturday. You never know the difference, people. That'll do it for Pro Football Today. Thank you for tuning in. Let's cash in some of these bets for Donnie Rightside and Joe Lisi. We'll see you around. We're out of here.
Line for Koepka are fantastic. I think it's perfect. It is punitive, but it's fair. You've got to levy some sort of fine, so to speak, for defecting, and I think they've done a wonderful job of being equitable and punishing him a bit at the same time. I think Brooks ultimately wants to be playing with the best.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
New York Giants. They fired their head coach, Brian Daboll. Now, they did that during the season. Harbaugh is the favorite by a wide margin. Looking at Kalshi right now, Joe, 56% chance. 56 that he's the coach. The guy behind him is Kevin Stefanski at 25%. Is this look like it's just a Harbaugh spot? And if not, Why is Harbaugh waiting until Monday? Does he want to see if something else opens up? But it looks like he's the heavy favorite and probably will get the job.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.